Imagine a man sitting quietly in a crowded room. He says nothing, yet all eyes seem drawn to him. He doesn't boast, he doesn't explain, he doesn't seek attention, but somehow he commands it. What is his secret? It isn't loud words, nor is it desperate action. It's the silent language of powerful thoughts. He thinks loudly, and though his lips are still, his inner voice shapes his outer world. While others scramble for validation, he quietly assumes possession of the life he desires, and life, like a well-trained servant, obeys. You have likely been taught to work harder, speak more, push endlessly, but those who truly live richly, those who attract success, wealth, and influence, rarely shout about it. They don't need to. Their thoughts are so loud, so certain, that they ripple through reality. They carry an inner conviction that is louder than any speech. They don't beg for blessings, they expect them. Thinking loudly is not about noise, it's about clarity. It's about painting a vision so vividly in your mind that the world has no choice but to respond. The rich do not attract by accident. Their wealth is born in thought before it is ever seen in form. They live with mental intensity. Every desire is mentally rehearsed. Every goal is already owned in imagination. And they don't announce their dreams to the world, they announce them to themselves. Speaking silently is the second part of this law. It's restraint, not repression. It's knowing that you don't have to explain what's already yours. When you speak silently, you hold power. You have known it to kill, and you can kill it. The more silently you speak your truth, the more the universe echoes your belief. The more the universe echoes your belief, the more that you produce it, the more that you must. Have you ever wondered why people who talk the most about money often have the least? Why those who broadcast every plan, every move, rarely make it? Because energy diffuses when scattered. But when you think loudly, when your mind is filled with dominant focus images and speak silently, keeping your intention sacred, you become magnetic. You don't chase wealth, you attract it. Quietly, naturally, inevitably. This is not fantasy, this is law. Invisible law. The rich operate within it whether they know it or not. Their wealth responds to their internal dominion, not their external struggle. And so can yours. You are not waiting for things to happen. You are aligning with them mentally, now. You are claiming riches in silence and watching them arrive in form. Train yourself to walk through this world as though you already own it. Not with arrogance, but with inner assurance. Let your thoughts be majestic, let your mind echo with prosperity, and let your silence be golden. Not out of fear, but out of sacred knowing. You are not here to convince, you are here to command with thought. So, begin today. Think louder, speak less, protect your vision, cultivate your mind, because the most powerful voices are not the ones shouted from rooftops, but the ones whispered with certainty into the soul. The rich are not louder, they are just more aligned. They think in wealth, breathe in abundance, and live as if what they desire already belongs to them. And now, so will you. Your dominant thought is the architect of your wealth. Train it to speak in riches. Every structure begins with a blueprint, every empire with a vision, and every fortune with a single dominant thought. The mind, whether understood or not, is a sacred architect. It builds quietly in the unseen, crafting circumstances, opportunities, and outcomes from the raw material of belief. Those who live richly do not begin with wealth in their hands. They begin with wealth in their thoughts. Their imagination is not idle fantasy, it is disciplined vision. They speak to themselves in the language of abundance, and they do it so consistently that it becomes the reality they walk into. You may not have been taught this truth. You may have been raised on limitation, scarcity, and caution. But what if you could train your mind to think differently? What if you could reprogram the conversation inside your head? Because the most important conversations of your life are not the ones you have with others, they're the ones you have with yourself. What you say to yourself when no one is listening. Is it a dialogue of wealth, success, and inevitable greatness? Or is it one of doubt, fear, and unworthiness? The rich think differently, not just because they have money, but because they've trained their mind to believe they deserve it even when they had nothing in their bank account. They already had millions in mental currency. They saw themselves as worthy of riches, capable of creating value, and powerful enough to manifest what they desired. This thinking is not arrogance, it's spiritual alignment, stepping into the truth that thoughts become things, and the mind is always creating, whether consciously or by default. The danger lies in passive thinking. When you allow random, reactive thoughts to take over, you become a servant to the external world. But when you seize control of your inner world, you become its master. The dominant thought must be chosen, cultivated, and nourished. It must speak in the frequency of riches. That means thinking from abundance, not toward it. It means imagining yourself already living the life you desire, not striving for it. It means walking through your day with a mental posture that says, "This world is mine to shape." Thinking in riches is not about greed or obsession, it's about alignment. It's about making your inner world so saturated with wealth consciousness that the outer world bends to match it. You don't attract what you wish for, you attract what you think from. And your dominant thought, whether of lack or of wealth, is the silent command to the universe. So train it wisely. Silence is not weakness, it is protection for your inner vision. There is a sacred power in silence that most people never discover. We live in a world addicted to noise, constant updates, endless opinions, loud proclamations of dreams that haven't even been born. But those who truly build something great understand that silence is not absence, it is strength. It is the invisible shield around their vision. It is the vault that protects their inner world from the pollution of doubt, envy, and misunderstanding. And the rich, those who master the art of creation, know when to keep their mouths closed and their mind open. When you speak too soon of your vision, you give it away, not literally, but energetically. Every time you expose your dream to someone who doesn't believe, who doesn't see, who doesn't carry your faith, you dilute it. Their skepticism seeps into the soil of your belief and slows the growth of what was once a pure intention. The rich don't make this mistake. They speak silently to themselves, reinforcing their vision in the privacy of thought. They do not rush to convince. They do not seek applause. They seek alignment. And alignment is best preserved in silence. Silence is also a sign of certainty. When you know something is yours, you don't need to shout about it. You don't need to announce every move. Look at nature. The seed doesn't scream its arrival, it germinates in stillness. The roots take hold in the quiet, unseen. The most powerful transformation happens beneath the surface, far from the noise of opinion. So it is with wealth, success, and manifestation. The inner vision must be protected until it is strong enough to stand on its own. Speaking less does not mean doing less. It means acting with intention. It means using your words not to seek approval, but to affirm your inner truth. Every silent affirmation, every mental rehearsal, every quiet moment of imagination is a brick in the foundation of your new life. The rich may not speak of their goals, but they live as if they've already achieved them. They trust the process too much to expose it to outside interference. So guard your vision. Hold it close. Speak to it in whispers when the world is asleep. Let your silence become a language only you and the divine understand. Because in that silence, your faith grows louder, your mind grows clearer, and your manifestation grows stronger. True power never begs to be seen. It creates silently until it cannot be ignored. The rich use imagination as rehearsal for possession. Live mentally before living physically. Before anything becomes real, it must first become imagined. The rich do not wait for wealth to appear before they feel rich. They feel rich before the world gives them a single reason to. And that feeling, that vivid mental rehearsal, is not daydreaming. It is deliberate creation. It is the quiet process of living inside the reality of your desire so fully that it becomes inevitable. The mind rehearses possession so completely that when it finally arrives, it feels natural, almost expected. Imagination is the workshop of wealth. It is where you build, piece by piece, the experience of what you want. Most people imagine their current reality and recycle their circumstances, recreating what already exists. But the rich use imagination differently. They go beyond the five senses. They see what isn't yet visible. They feel what isn't yet tangible. They walk through houses they don't yet own, sit in meetings that haven't happened, and hear the applause of success before a single hand has clapped. Their minds are the stage, and their vision plays out in complete detail. To the outside world, this looks like delusion, but to the inner world, it is alignment, because the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a physical one. It takes your thoughts as instruction and your feelings as fact. If you can imagine it vividly enough, feel it emotionally enough, it begins to build the pathway for it to become real. And the rich know this. They mentally live their future now. That's why they move differently. They don't hope. They expect. They don't chase. They attract. This isn't about pretending, it's about inhabiting. When you imagine, don't just see the image, step into it. Don't just wish for wealth, experience what it feels like to own it. Imagine how you walk, talk, dress, think. Feel the freedom, the ease, the confidence. Mentally rehearse abundance until it becomes your dominant vibration. Because once it's normal in your mind, life will rush to make it normal in form. The mistake most people make is waiting to feel different after things change. But it's the opposite. You must feel different now so that things can change. Feel rich before the money. Feel confident before the opportunity. Feel worthy before the world recognizes your value. This is how you bring the invisible into the visible. This is how you command reality. The rich don't wait to believe. They believe now. They don't ask if it's possible. They declare it's already theirs. And this belief, rehearsed through imagination, becomes the blueprint for everything that follows. Words scatter energy. Discipline your silence to amplify your magnetism. There is a hidden cost to every word you speak. Every time you explain yourself, every time you justify your goals to someone who doesn't understand, every time you broadcast your plans out of insecurity, you leak energy. Words can either be tools of creation or weapons of self-sabotage, and the rich understand the difference. They know that when energy is scattered, manifestation weakens, so they discipline their silence, not because they have nothing to say, but because they know the power of preserving the unseen. Speaking carelessly is like opening a dam and letting your creative power spill into places where it can't grow. People who don't believe in you can't water your dream. People who envy you can't support your vision. People who doubt you don't deserve access to your sacred ideas. Every time you speak about something prematurely, you invite interference, opinions, and resistance. And all of that fragments your energy. The rich are deliberate. They don't speak to impress. They don't explain to gain approval. They speak when it strengthens their vibration, not when it weakens it. Magnetism isn't loud. It's focused. It's a force that builds within you until the world has no choice but to notice. The more disciplined your silence, the more powerful your attraction. Because when you protect your energy, it concentrates. It becomes dense with intention. And intention, when undiluted by chatter, becomes magnetic. People are drawn to those who hold something sacred within. There is a quiet authority and restraint that cannot be faked. You don't need to prove anything. Your energy says it all. Think about the times when you've spoken too soon, when you've shared your goals with the wrong person, when you've tried to convince someone of your worth. Didn't it leave you feeling empty, exposed, maybe even discouraged? That's because your energy was pulled out of you. It was scattered across a field that couldn't hold it. But when you stay silent, when you let your vision grow within, you create a magnetic field around it, one that draws the right people, the right opportunities, the right circumstances, without effort. The rich don't waste their words. They don't speak just to fill silence. Their silence is intentional. It's filled with thought, vision, purpose. And that silence speaks louder than noise. It draws attention, respect, and curiosity. Not because they demand it, but because they embody it. You become powerful when you don't need to speak to be seen. So hold your energy. Let it build. Let your silence speak your certainty. Let your quiet presence do the talking. Because the less you explain, the more you attract. And in that discipline, your magnetism multiplies. You attract by assuming, not announcing. Claim what is yours in thought. There's a sacred line between wanting and assuming. Wanting keeps you reaching, always placing your desire somewhere in the future, like a carrot on a stick that never quite comes close. But assuming that what you desire is already yours, changes everything. It collapses the distance between thought and form. It is the difference between hoping and having. And this is where the rich separate themselves from the masses. They don't announce their dreams. They assume them, quietly, powerfully, and the universe responds. To assume is to claim without needing permission. It is the invisible posture of ownership. You don't wait for signs. You don't beg for confirmation. You act, walk, speak, and think as if it is already done. When the rich desire something, they don't talk endlessly about how much they want it. They move into the state where it already exists in their inner world. They think from the desire, not toward it. That is the magnetic power of assumption. Why does this work? Because reality responds not to noise but to frequency. It mirrors what you believe you are. If you constantly talk about becoming successful, you're reinforcing that you're not yet there. But when you assume success in silence, when you embody it mentally, it creates a vibration that life must reflect. You don't need to explain what you already are, you just live it. The assumption becomes your identity, and the world organizes around that identity. This is not about arrogance, it's about alignment. When you assume something in thought, you are not lying to yourself. You are aligning with a deeper truth. A truth that your desires are not random, they are revelations. They are glimpses into the life already prepared for you, waiting for your acceptance. But that acceptance doesn't come through outward declarations. It comes through inner agreement, a deep yes in the soul, a silent claiming. This is how the rich build their empires, not by asking the world to validate their dreams, but by embodying the dream internally until the world catches up. You must stop announcing your goals to people who can't comprehend your vision. Stop waiting for others to believe in what you already know. When you truly assume, you stop needing to prove anything. Your energy does the speaking. Your actions flow from certainty. Your presence carries the weight of fulfillment. Let your life become a quiet declaration. Let your thoughts proclaim what your lips never need to say. Walk through the world as someone who has already received. That's the secret. You don't need to tell anyone what you're becoming. When you assume fully, the world will see it soon enough, and by then there'll be nothing left to prove, only results to live in. Guard your desires from disbelief, share your vision only with the divine. Your desires are not public property. They are sacred seeds, meant to be planted in the soil of your mind, watered by faith and nurtured in silence. But the mistake many people make is broadcasting their dreams too soon, exposing them to opinions, criticism, envy, and doubt. In doing so, they weaken the energy behind the desire. The rich don't make this mistake. They understand that not everyone deserves access to the garden of their imagination. So they guard their desires like treasure, and they share them only with the divine. When you expose your vision to others, you invite their disbelief. Not everyone can see what you see. Not everyone has the spiritual eyes to recognize what is forming within you. And that's okay. It's not their job to understand. It's your job to protect. Because disbelief, once spoken, can become like wind against a small flame. It snuffs out the fragile fire before it grows. Your desires need privacy to expand, to strengthen, to become unshakable before they are revealed. The divine, God, the universe, source, whatever name you call it, is the only one who needs to see the full picture. Because creation is a conversation between your soul and the infinite. No one else is required. And the more you keep that conversation private, the more powerfully it moves. When you share your vision with the divine, you're not seeking validation. You're speaking with the very force that can bring it to life. That's where your focus must be, not on people, but on presence. Have you ever noticed how easily people project their limitations onto you? Tell someone your dream of financial freedom, and they'll remind you of how hard the economy is. Tell someone about your vision of success, and they'll ask what makes you so special. Not out of malice, often out of their own fears. But their fears aren't yours, and their disbelief should never become your ceiling. The rich don't entertain disbelief. They don't share their ideas with people who operate from lack. They speak their desires only to the power that gave them the desire in the first place. They know the divine doesn't need convincing. It needs clarity. It needs faith. So they speak their visions in prayer, in meditation, in inner dialogue. They keep them in sacred space until they are ready to be born in the outer world. You must do the same. Don't be careless with your dreams. Don't place them in hands that will crush them. Hold them close. Guard them fiercely. Share them with the divine. And act from the knowing that if the desire lives in you, it came with a path. The only approval you need is already within you. The only audience you need is listening in silence. And when it's time, your vision will speak for itself. Loudly, clearly, and undeniably. Confidence is quiet. Certainty is magnetic. Become a mental millionaire before the world sees it. True confidence doesn't require permission. It doesn't need noise, applause, or endless affirmations to feel real. It is quiet. It is rooted. It is the calm of someone who already knows what's coming. That's what makes it magnetic. The rich don't walk around bragging about who they are or what they've achieved. They carry themselves with an internal certainty that speaks louder than any external validation ever could. And that certainty begins not with money in the bank, but with a mindset that already feels rich, already lives richly, already sees wealth as a given. To become a mental millionaire is to walk by faith, not sight. It means living as if you already possess the things your physical world has yet to deliver. It means adjusting your posture, your thoughts, your energy, and your habits to match the version of you that already has it all. This is not delusion, it is discipline. and it is the most magnetic state you can ever embody. When people sense that you don't need anything from them, they become drawn to you. When they feel that your peace isn't up for negotiation, they pay attention. When your confidence no longer depends on outcome, praise, or proof, your energy becomes powerful. The rich embody this naturally, not because they were born that way, but because they trained their mind to believe long before results appeared. So how do you become that person? You start by removing internal contradictions. You stop asking for wealth while thinking from lack. You stop dreaming big while living small in your mind. You cleanse your imagination of conflict and replace it with consistency. You show up each day not as someone trying to attract wealth, but as someone who already knows it's on the way. That certainty changes your tone. It transforms your decisions. It makes you magnetic, not to everyone, but to the right things. You don't need to convince the world. You don't even need to explain yourself. Your life, when shaped by inner conviction, will speak for itself. It will glow from the inside out, and the world will respond, not because you forced it, but because you became too aligned to be ignored. You've been told to hustle harder, speak louder, do more, but the real secret to attracting wealth lies in the invisible realm of thought and vibration. To think loudly is to declare in your mind what you will never need to shout with your voice. To speak silently is to protect your vision, guard your power, and align your energy with the reality you are building. And to attract like the rich, you must live mentally in your wealth long before the world sees it. You do not need the world's permission to rise. You do not need anyone's belief but your own. The rich understand that thought is the mold and life is the clay. They create within and then let the outer world catch up. So now it's your turn. Think boldly, imagine lavishly, walk confidently in silence, and become so inwardly rich that the outer world has no choice but to reflect your inner reality. Because the most powerful wealth isn't spoken, it's lived. In thought, in faith, in quiet certainty. Be still and know it's already yours. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to invite you on a journey that each of us is destined to travel. This journey is neither smooth nor easy. It is one marked by trials and setbacks, by moments of doubt and even despair. And yet, it is the very journey that leads us to become who we are meant to be. If you stay with me, you will discover how life's darkest hours are, in fact, the crucibles that forge our strength, awaken our wisdom, and summon forth our deepest capacities. This evening, we delve into an undeniable truth that to grow, you must suffer. Why should we care about this concept? Because within each of us exists a profound potential waiting to be unleashed, waiting to transcend the limits of our fears and doubts. Yet this potential is not realized in comfort. True transformation comes not from the light, but from embracing the dark. We all have experienced or will experience hardship, and it is in these trials that we find the seeds of growth, the chance to reshape ourselves in ways we could never have imagined. Suffering does not weaken us, it awakens us. In both our personal and professional lives, we encounter challenges that test our resilience, our will, and our belief in ourselves. These struggles, though painful, are not meaningless. They are infused with purpose, shaping us, molding us, and opening us to higher states of awareness. To know ourselves, to achieve true success, to feel whole, we must understand the necessity of pain as a vehicle for growth. So let's explore together the inescapable link between suffering and growth. As we do, I urge you to look within, to see your own struggles not as obstacles but as stepping stones. For it is only by confronting hardship that we grow, that we awaken, and that we become more of who we are meant to be. Hardship, by its very nature, exposes layers of ourselves we often keep hidden or ignore. In moments of comfort, it's easy to live under a facade, convinced of who we think we are. However, when we encounter hardship, those illusions are torn away, revealing the vulnerabilities and insecurities we may have avoided facing. This process is far from gentle. It is a raw, unfiltered experience that strips us down to our most authentic state. When we stand in the face of suffering, we begin to understand aspects of ourselves that would otherwise remain buried. As hardship reveals these hidden parts, it becomes a mirror, reflecting our fears and limitations back to us. We start to see where we cling to control, where we fall into patterns, and where we may have let our self-belief falter. Struggle forces us into an intimate encounter with the parts of ourselves we tend to keep at bay. It doesn't allow us to stay comfortable or complacent. It demands that we look inward, that we confront the things we may have hidden from others and even from ourselves. In the face of adversity, our strengths and weaknesses stand side by side, allowing us to gain a clearer understanding of who we are and what we are capable of enduring. We are given no choice but to see ourselves as we truly are, without embellishment or denial. It is a sobering experience, but also a powerful one. For in these moments we are often surprised by our own resilience and shocked by our own fragility, each of which deepens our sense of self-awareness. This process can often feel like a battle between the self we thought we were and the self we are becoming. The struggle strips away superficial traits, illuminating the deeper qualities that lie beneath. For instance, our reaction to hardship, whether we rise in resilience or crumble, shows us where we are strong, where we are fragile, and where we still have work to do. The awareness gained here is more than just an intellectual understanding. It's an emotional, lived experience that reshapes our perception of self. Hardship also pushes us to question long-held beliefs and values. In moments of struggle, we are forced to ask ourselves what truly matters. What is worth holding on to? These questions are not just philosophical, they challenge us to redefine who we are and what we stand for. Struggles demand that we get clear on our priorities, often leading us to redefine our values, desires, and the vision we hold for our lives. This clarity doesn't come easily. It is born from the intensity of facing difficulty head-on. Hardship has a way of isolating us, forcing us to turn inward and seek answers from within. In these moments, external validation becomes irrelevant. The only validation that matters is the one we give ourselves. This solitude, though challenging, fosters a deep connection to our inner voice, the core part of us that remains when everything else falls away. We learn to trust ourselves, to rely on our inner strength, and to listen to the truths that emerge from within. As we navigate through these trials, we are left with a stronger, more honest version of ourselves. The painful process of self-discovery born from hardship builds a foundation for genuine transformation. It is here, within the crucible of suffering, that we forge a clearer, deeper, and more profound sense of who we truly are. Adversity, much like fire, is an intense force that both tests and refines. It burns away the unnecessary, stripping down to what is true and essential within us. In times of comfort, we may be content with a surface understanding of ourselves, but hardship demands something deeper. Just as fire purifies gold, adversity purifies character, revealing the strength and resilience that may have lain dormant until challenged. This purification process is far from easy, yet it leaves us more grounded and genuine, reshaping our character in ways that only hardship can. When we endure challenges, our character becomes tempered, much like a metal forged in heat. Every struggle presents a new aspect of ourselves that must be strengthened, a new layer of resilience that must be built. We grow accustomed to the demands of adversity, and with each experience we gain an ability to withstand more. This growth isn't just about survival, it's about developing an inner fortitude that we can draw upon time and again. Each time we come through difficulty, we emerge more resilient and more attuned to the depth of our own capacity. Compassion, too, is often a gift of hardship. When we suffer, we gain a greater sensitivity to the suffering of others. It opens our hearts to the challenges others may face, fostering an empathy that can only come from understanding pain firsthand. This compassion changes us, making us more generous and understanding. Our character expands, no longer limited by only our own experiences, but enriched by a shared understanding of human struggle. In this way, hardship creates a character that connects more deeply with others, bridging the gaps through shared empathy. Hardship also demands courage. Adversity confronts us with the unknown, with fears we may not have known we held. In facing these fears, we become braver, not because we eliminate our fears, but because we learn to stand up to them. This courage, forged in difficulty, becomes a core part of our character. It is an inner strength that can only be developed through the willingness to face struggle with an open heart. Courage transforms the timid parts of us, allowing us to meet life with greater openness and strength. Integrity often emerges from the trials we endure. When life tests us, we are forced to make choices that reveal our values, our limits, and our boundaries. The experience of navigating hardship solidifies these values, giving us a clear sense of right and wrong. We learn what we truly stand for, and through these experiences, our moral character becomes unwavering. Hardship, therefore, not only refines but reinforces our sense of integrity, helping us become individuals whose actions align with deeply held principles. Adversity also brings clarity to our priorities, showing us what truly matters. In times of ease, we may take certain things for granted, but hardship has a way of stripping away the trivial, focusing us on what is essential. This focus redefines our character, aligning us with purpose and values that resonate deeply within. As we prioritize what is meaningful, our character becomes stronger, built on a foundation of authenticity and clear intent, allowing us to live with greater purpose and conviction. Hardship connects us to our truest selves, aligning us more closely with who we are meant to be. In moments of suffering, we often experience a profound shift, realizing that what lies within us is far stronger than we once believed. This realization changes us. It helps us align our outer actions with our inner truths. Through the refining fires of adversity, we are shaped, strengthened, and ultimately transformed into individuals of resilience, empathy, and unwavering character. Suffering has a unique way of breaking down the walls we often build around our hearts. In our most vulnerable moments, we come face to face with the rawness of our own pain, and this exposure to hardship reshapes us from the inside out. We become more aware of our shared human experience, realizing that suffering is a universal thread that connects us all. This understanding deepens our capacity for empathy, as we can no longer remain indifferent to the struggles others endure. Our own pain becomes a bridge, allowing us to relate more genuinely with the world around us. As hardship stretches our hearts, it increases our sensitivity to the hidden battles that others may face. When we have known suffering, we become more attuned to the subtle signs of distress in those around us: a strained smile, a quiet sigh, a shadow that flickers in their eyes. We start to see beyond surface appearances, sensing the deeper emotions that lie beneath. This awareness creates a profound shift in our relationships as we approach others with a gentleness and openness that invites them to share their own vulnerabilities. Experiencing suffering also humbles us, reminding us that life's challenges spare no one. This humility allows us to see others with a newfound respect and understanding. We recognize that everyone, regardless of outward success or status, faces hardships of their own. This realization breaks down judgment and comparison, replacing it with compassion and solidarity. Our suffering teaches us to meet others where they are, accepting them without the need to categorize or label their experiences. Instead, we become allies, offering support from a place of shared humanity. When we truly understand pain, we become more inclined to extend kindness, even when it's not expected or reciprocated. Hardship reveals the importance of simple acts of compassion, knowing firsthand how a small gesture can bring comfort in dark times. Our empathy extends beyond words. It becomes a quiet strength, a presence that others can lean on. This depth of compassion enriches our relationships as we learn to give more selflessly and listen more deeply. We come to value kindness as a balm for suffering, recognizing its power to heal and uplift. Suffering also dismantles the false separations we create between ourselves and others. In our own pain, we see reflections of the struggles faced by countless others across time and space. we begin to understand that our suffering is not unique but part of a shared journey. This connection transcends personal experience, leading us to a more profound sense of unity with others. The pain that once felt isolating becomes a source of connection, allowing us to empathize with people from all walks of life. Hardship cultivates patience and tolerance. We recognize that everyone has their own timing, their own path through pain and healing. Having experienced the slow, sometimes grueling process of growth through suffering, we become more patient with others' journeys. We learn to offer support without imposing expectations, knowing that true compassion allows space for others to find their own way. This patience nurtures stronger, more genuine relationships as we allow those we care for to evolve at their own pace. Suffering compels us to show up with authenticity. Having been through our own trials, we no longer feel the need to present a perfect front. Instead, we embrace vulnerability, showing our true selves and inviting others to do the same. This honesty fosters deep connections as we recognize that our shared humanity lies not in perfection but in our willingness to be real with each other. Our empathy and compassion, born from suffering, become the foundation for relationships that are resilient, meaningful, and transformative. Adversity introduces us to a depth of strength we may never have known without facing challenges. In the comforts of everyday life, our abilities can remain hidden, quietly resting beneath the surface. Yet, when we encounter hardship, this inner strength is called forth, revealing resilience we may not have realized we possessed. This strength doesn't appear in a moment, it is forged slowly, each trial and setback adding to it like layers of steel. With each challenge, our core grows stronger, becoming a foundation that supports us in times of difficulty. As we push through adversity, we begin to understand our own capabilities. Each time we face a trial and overcome it, we are shown a new facet of our strength. The experiences that push us to our limits remind us of what we can endure, instilling a confidence that only grows with time. This self-assurance does not come from external validation, but from knowing that, regardless of life's unpredictability, we have the capacity to meet and endure hardship. This realization becomes a source of empowerment, allowing us to approach future challenges with a sense of calm and resolve. The strength we build through adversity is not just about physical endurance or mental willpower, it's a quiet, steadfast resilience that lives within us. This strength is not easily shaken by external circumstances. Instead, it becomes a steady presence, a core of inner stability that allows us to face life's ups and downs without losing ourselves. When we've been tested by difficulty, our ability to adapt grows, creating a flexibility that lets us remain steady, even in turbulent times. We no longer fear change or uncertainty, for we trust our ability to handle whatever comes our way. Adversity also teaches us the value of persistence. Pushing through challenges often requires us to keep going, even when results aren't immediate or visible. This perseverance, cultivated through hardship, becomes a key component of our inner strength. We learn that true strength is not about never feeling tired or discouraged, but about finding the will to continue, even when it's difficult. This persistence becomes a quiet source of pride, reminding us that we are capable of enduring and achieving more than we once thought possible. In facing adversity, we also learn the importance of self-reliance. When we are pushed to our limits, we realize that no one can walk our path for us. This realization is both humbling and empowering. We begin to trust our own instincts, our own choices, and our own resilience. As we face these challenges independently, we develop a stronger sense of self, understanding that while others can support us, we ultimately possess the strength we need within. This self-reliance builds a deeper connection with ourselves, a relationship based on trust and respect. Adversity teaches us to embrace discomfort as part of growth. In a society that often emphasizes ease and pleasure, hardship is seen as something to avoid. But through facing adversity, we come to see discomfort as a valuable teacher. We realize that true growth happens outside of our comfort zones, and we start to embrace the moments of difficulty as opportunities for inner expansion. Each challenge faced becomes a step forward in our evolution. And we learn to approach future hardships not with dread, but with a readiness to discover more about ourselves. The strength we gain from adversity becomes a part of who we are. It is not something we use up or lose over time, rather, it becomes woven into the fabric of our being. This inner strength shapes how we see ourselves and how we interact with the world. It gives us a quiet confidence, a steady sense of worth that is not dependent on external circumstances. Through adversity, we find a source of power that lives within us, one that will remain with us, ready to support us through whatever life may bring. In times of despair, we often find ourselves grappling with the overwhelming weight of our circumstances. As we struggle to maintain control over our situations, we may feel the pressure mounting, leaving us anxious and exhausted. However, in these very moments, we are presented with a profound opportunity, the chance to surrender. This act of letting go is not a concession to defeat, rather, it is an invitation to embrace a deeper understanding of faith. By acknowledging that some things lie beyond our control, we open ourselves to the possibility of transformation. Surrendering allows us to release the tightly held beliefs that we must manage everything ourselves. In the depths of despair, we begin to recognize that our relentless striving may not yield the results we desire. This realization sparks a shift in our perspective, moving us from a mindset of resistance to one of acceptance. When we surrender, we stop fighting against the current and start to flow with it. This doesn't mean we abandon our goals or aspirations. It means we trust the journey and let life unfold as it will, knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. As we learn to surrender, we cultivate a deeper sense of faith. This faith is not about blind belief, it is about an inner knowing that there is a greater force at work, guiding us even when we cannot see the way forward. In moments of surrender, we come to understand that we are part of something larger than ourselves, a tapestry of experiences and connections that transcend our individual struggles. This awareness fosters a sense of peace, as we begin to trust that everything is unfolding in its own time, and that our suffering serves a purpose we may not yet comprehend. Through surrender, we tap into a higher source of strength that resides within us. This strength is not the result of sheer willpower or determination. It is a quiet, steady presence that reassures us during turbulent times. When we release our need for control, we allow ourselves to be receptive to the wisdom that emerges from our experiences. We discover that within the depths of our despair lies the potential for growth, learning, and renewal. This connection to a higher strength empowers us, reminding us that we are capable of navigating even the most challenging circumstances. Surrender fosters resilience. When we learn to let go of our rigid expectations and embrace the flow of life, we develop a flexibility that allows us to adapt and bounce back from setbacks. This resilience is not born from a refusal to feel pain, but from an understanding that pain is a part of the journey. By surrendering, we become more willing to face discomfort, knowing that it can lead to deeper insights and growth. Each time we practice surrender in the face of adversity, we reinforce our ability to rise again, stronger and more centered than before. Surrendering also encourages compassion, both for ourselves and for others. When we recognize our own struggles and the moments we have been unable to control, we become more empathetic toward the challenges others face. This empathy nurtures a sense of community, reminding us that we are all navigating our own hardships. As we learn to extend compassion to ourselves during times of despair, we become better equipped to offer it to those around us. This shared understanding fosters connections built on mutual support and kindness. The process of surrender brings a sense of liberation. By letting go of the need to control every aspect of our lives, we free ourselves from the burden of unrealistic expectations. This liberation invites us to embrace uncertainty, allowing us to live more fully in the present moment. We begin to experience life with greater openness, welcoming whatever comes our way with curiosity instead of fear. Through surrender, we find a sense of freedom that enriches our existence, allowing us to engage with life more authentically and joyfully. Pain and adversity have long served as powerful catalysts for creativity and innovation throughout history. In moments of struggle, individuals are often compelled to think outside the box, seeking solutions that push the boundaries of conventional thinking. This need to overcome challenges can ignite a spark of creativity, leading to breakthroughs that transform not only individual lives but also entire societies. When faced with hardship, the drive to find answers or create change becomes a powerful motivator, urging us to harness our imagination in ways that would remain untapped in times of comfort. Throughout history, many of the world's greatest inventions have been birthed from the crucible of pain. Innovators and creators have often emerged in response to significant challenges, using their suffering as fuel for progress. For example, the challenges faced during wartime have led to technological advancements in medicine, engineering, and communication. The urgency to address pressing needs compels individuals to explore new ideas and approaches, resulting in innovations that redefine industries and improve lives. This dynamic illustrates how adversity can serve as a springboard for creativity, driving people to seek solutions that are both practical and transformative. The experience of pain can foster a unique perspective on life. Those who have faced significant struggles often develop a heightened sensitivity to the needs of others, allowing them to see gaps and opportunities that others might overlook. This empathetic insight can lead to creative endeavors that address social issues or improve the human experience. For instance, artists, writers, and musicians frequently draw upon their own suffering to create works that resonate with universal emotions, providing solace and understanding to those who share similar struggles. Their creative expressions not only reflect their pain but also offer hope and connection to others. In the realm of business and entrepreneurship, pain can similarly inspire innovation. Many successful entrepreneurs have faced failure, loss, or hardship, which has fueled their determination to create something meaningful. The lessons learned from adversity often lead to more resilient and adaptable business practices. For instance, companies born from the ashes of economic downturns often emerge with fresh ideas and innovative solutions, redefining industries and setting new standards. The challenges they encounter push them to reimagine their approaches, ultimately fostering a culture of creativity and progress. The process of coping with pain can unlock hidden talents and abilities. When individuals confront adversity, they often discover strengths and skills they never knew they possessed. This self-discovery is a powerful motivator, pushing them to explore creative outlets that may have remained dormant otherwise. Whether it's writing, painting, or developing new technologies, the drive to express oneself and make sense of pain can lead to remarkable artistic and innovative achievements. As people engage with their creative impulses, they tap into reservoirs of potential that elevate their work and enrich their lives. In addition to personal growth, the collective experience of pain can galvanize communities and societies toward innovation. Shared struggles often foster collaboration, encouraging individuals to come together to seek solutions to common challenges. This collective creativity can result in social movements, community projects, and innovative initiatives that address systemic issues. The sense of urgency created by shared adversity motivates individuals to pool their resources, ideas, and talents, leading to a surge of innovation that benefits the wider community. The legacy of pain-driven creativity can be seen in the narratives of resilience that emerge from struggles. History is filled with stories of individuals and groups who have triumphed over adversity, using their experiences to inspire others. These narratives often serve as a source of motivation for future generations, illustrating how pain can be a powerful catalyst for positive change. By sharing their stories, these individuals not only honor their own journeys but also pave the way for others to harness their pain as a source of inspiration, reminding us all of the boundless potential that arises from overcoming hardship. Challenges and suffering have a profound way of humbling us, reminding us that we are all human with our own vulnerabilities and imperfections. In moments of hardship, the ego's facade begins to crumble, exposing the deeper truths about who we are. The pursuit of validation and the need for superiority can often lead us to construct a false sense of self, one that seeks to impress or dominate. However, when faced with adversity, the illusions that the ego creates begin to dissolve, allowing us to see ourselves more clearly. This confrontation with our true nature can be both unsettling and liberating. As we navigate through challenges, we often find that our previous sense of identity, shaped by societal expectations and personal ambitions, begins to shift. The struggles we face strip away the layers of pretense, forcing us to confront our weaknesses and fears. This process can be painful, but it is also essential for growth. By breaking down the ego, we gain insight into our genuine desires and values, which may have been obscured by our need to maintain a certain image. This journey inward encourages us to examine the motivations behind our actions, leading to a more authentic expression of self. Suffering also encourages vulnerability, a quality often at odds with the ego's desire for strength and dominance. When we encounter pain, we are invited to show our true selves, to reveal our fears and uncertainties to ourselves and others. This act of vulnerability fosters deeper connections with those around us, as it allows others to relate to our struggles. In sharing our experiences, we find common ground, building empathy and compassion that transcends the superficiality often perpetuated by the ego. Through vulnerability, we realize that our shared humanity binds us together, breaking down the barriers the ego erects. Challenges help us develop humility, a quality that is essential for authentic living. When faced with adversity, we are reminded of our limitations and the fact that we are not invincible. This humbling experience encourages us to let go of arrogance and entitlement, leading us to appreciate the contributions and struggles of others. As we embrace humility, we cultivate a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all beings. This perspective shift allows us to celebrate the strengths and journeys of others, rather than viewing them through the lens of competition or comparison. The breakdown of the ego also allows us to connect with our core values and passions, which may have been overshadowed by the pursuit of external validation. In times of suffering, we are often compelled to reassess what truly matters to us, leading to a more authentic way of living. This reflection encourages us to prioritize our genuine interests and passions, aligning our actions with our true selves rather than societal expectations. As we engage in pursuits that resonate with our core values, we begin to experience a sense of fulfillment that is grounded in authenticity rather than superficial achievements. Challenges can act as a catalyst for self-discovery, revealing hidden strengths and qualities we may not have acknowledged. As the ego falls away, we become more open to exploring the depths of our being. This exploration can lead to a greater understanding of our capabilities and potential. In confronting adversity, we often surprise ourselves with the resilience we possess, the creativity we can tap into, and the compassion we can extend to others. This journey of self-discovery enriches our lives, providing a sense of purpose that transcends the ego's need for recognition. The dissolution of the ego brings us closer to inner peace. When we release the need for validation and superiority, we free ourselves from the constant comparisons and judgments that can lead to dissatisfaction. This newfound peace allows us to embrace life as it is, with all its imperfections and uncertainties. In this state of acceptance, we find a deeper sense of belonging, not only to ourselves but also to the world around us. By confronting the challenges that life presents, we emerge with a clearer understanding of our true selves, leading to a more authentic and fulfilling existence. Resilience is often described as the ability to bounce back from adversity. But it is so much more than that. Each challenge we encounter acts as a stepping stone, an opportunity to cultivate a deeper sense of strength and fortitude. Every time we face and overcome difficulties, we build layers of resilience that become integral to our character. This process is not instantaneous, it is a gradual journey shaped by our experiences and the lessons we learn along the way. With each trial, we gain valuable insights into our capabilities, nurturing a belief in ourselves that empowers us to face future challenges. As we confront adversity, we begin to recognize patterns in our responses and reactions. This awareness enables us to develop coping strategies that can be applied to subsequent challenges. We learn that our initial emotional reactions, while natural, can be tempered with reflection and thoughtfulness. Over time, these repeated trials teach us to approach difficulties with a sense of calm and determination. Rather than succumbing to fear or despair, we become equipped with tools to navigate through the storm. This acquired knowledge enhances our resilience, reinforcing the idea that we can endure and overcome whatever life throws our way. The strength we build through repeated trials is not merely a reaction to hardship, it becomes a proactive force in our lives. Each challenge we face provides an opportunity to test our limits and expand our comfort zones. As we successfully navigate through obstacles, we become more confident in our ability to tackle the unknown. This newfound confidence transforms our perspective, allowing us to view challenges not as insurmountable barriers, but as opportunities for growth and discovery. With this shift in mindset, we cultivate a sense of resilience that is dynamic and adaptive, capable of evolving with our experiences. Resilience fosters a greater sense of connection with others. As we share our stories of overcoming challenges, we often find commonality in the struggles we have faced. This shared experience builds a sense of community and solidarity, reinforcing the idea that we are not alone in our journeys. When we acknowledge our resilience, we inspire others to recognize their strength as well. This interconnectedness enriches our lives, creating a supportive network that encourages growth and healing. In moments of vulnerability, we become sources of inspiration and hope for those who may be facing their own trials. Resilience is also deeply tied to our capacity for adaptability. Each trial we encounter challenges us to think creatively and adjust our approaches. As we learn to pivot in the face of adversity, we become more flexible in our thinking and more open to new solutions. This adaptability is a hallmark of resilience, allowing us to thrive in ever-changing circumstances. By embracing change and uncertainty, we cultivate a mindset that seeks opportunities in every challenge. The ability to adapt becomes a powerful tool, equipping us to navigate through life's complexities with grace and confidence. The process of building resilience through repeated trials encourages a deeper understanding of ourselves. Each challenge brings us face to face with our limitations, fears, and insecurities. In confronting these aspects of ourselves, we gain insights that lead to personal growth and transformation. We learn to acknowledge our vulnerabilities without judgment, fostering self-compassion and acceptance. This journey inward allows us to develop a more authentic sense of self, empowering us to embrace our strengths while acknowledging our weaknesses. The awareness we gain through adversity becomes a foundation for resilience, guiding us as we continue to evolve. The resilience we cultivate through suffering becomes a quiet strength that remains steadfast, regardless of external circumstances. This inner fortitude becomes a part of our identity, shaping how we approach life's challenges. We learn that while suffering may be unavoidable, our response to it is within our control. This empowerment is transformative, allowing us to face the future with courage and hope. As we navigate life's trials, we carry with us the resilience built through past experiences, serving as a reminder that we possess the strength to rise above any challenge that may come our way. The most painful experiences often serve as pivotal moments in our lives, catalyzing a deep search for meaning and purpose. When we endure hardship, the distractions and superficialities that typically occupy our minds begin to fade away, leaving us with a clearer view of what truly matters. This stripping away of excess can be unsettling, but it is also profoundly liberating. As we confront our pain, we are prompted to reflect on our values and aspirations, leading us to discover the essence of who we are and what we are meant to contribute to the world. In moments of suffering, we frequently find ourselves asking the hard questions: what is truly important to me? What legacy do I wish to leave behind? These inquiries push us to reevaluate our priorities and can serve as a powerful motivator to pursue a more meaningful existence. The clarity that emerges from these reflections allows us to identify our passions and strengths, guiding us toward paths that resonate with our true selves. As we navigate through our pain, we learn to listen to our inner voice, which often reveals our authentic desires and aspirations. Adversity often ignites a sense of urgency to act. When faced with life's challenges, we may realize that time is precious and that we have the power to shape our destinies. This awareness can lead to a newfound determination to pursue our goals and dreams. The pain we experience becomes a driving force, propelling us to make choices aligned with our purpose. In this way, suffering becomes a catalyst for action, encouraging us to seize opportunities and take risks that we may have previously shied away from. As we embark on this journey of self-discovery, we often find that our purpose extends beyond personal fulfillment. It is also deeply interconnected with the well-being of others. Pain can awaken a profound sense of empathy, motivating us to contribute positively to the lives of those around us. In our darkest moments, we often become more attuned to the struggles of others, sparking a desire to make a difference. This newfound awareness can lead us to engage in acts of service, advocacy, or creative expression that not only honor our pain but also uplift and support others who may be facing similar challenges. In addition to fostering a sense of purpose, adversity can enhance our clarity regarding our boundaries and what we are willing to accept in life. When we encounter difficulties, we often come face to face with our limits, both emotionally and physically. This confrontation teaches us the importance of self-care and the need to prioritize our well-being. As we learn to set boundaries and protect our energy, we gain greater clarity about the types of relationships and environments that nurture our growth. This understanding empowers us to create spaces in our lives that align with our purpose and values. The journey through pain often leads to greater resilience and a willingness to embrace change. As we confront the challenges life presents, we develop a deeper understanding of our own strength and adaptability. This newfound resilience not only supports our pursuit of purpose but also encourages us to approach life's uncertainties with confidence. We learn to embrace the ebb and flow of existence, recognizing that change is a natural part of the human experience. This acceptance allows us to navigate transitions with grace, knowing that each shift can bring us closer to our true calling. The birth of purpose and clarity through pain often comes with a profound sense of liberation. As we let go of the need for external validation and the pressures of societal expectations, we begin to live authentically. This authenticity allows us to pursue paths that resonate with our core selves, unencumbered by fear or doubt. The clarity we gain through our experiences serves as a guiding light, illuminating the way forward and empowering us to embrace our unique journey with confidence and conviction. In this way, pain becomes a transformative force, leading us toward a life rich with purpose and meaning. In conclusion, the journey through suffering is not merely a path of hardship, it is a profound opportunity for growth, transformation, and self-discovery. Each challenge we face serves as a stepping stone, building our resilience, deepening our empathy, and unveiling the clarity of our true purpose. As we confront the trials that life presents, we learn to embrace our vulnerabilities, breaking down the ego that seeks validation and superiority. It is in these moments of struggle that we find our authentic selves and the strength that lies within. We are reminded that pain is not the enemy, rather, it is a teacher, guiding us toward a higher consciousness and a more meaningful existence. The lessons gleaned from our suffering shape our character, igniting our creativity and fostering connections with others who share similar journeys. As we embrace the challenges that come our way, we cultivate a quiet strength that cannot be easily shaken, allowing us to face the uncertainties of life with courage and grace. Let us then view our challenges not as obstacles, but as invitations to grow into our most powerful selves. Each experience of adversity carries with it the potential to transform us, revealing the resilience, compassion, and purpose that lie at the core of our being. By embracing the pain we encounter and allowing it to shape us, we can rise above and emerge not only stronger but also more attuned to the needs of others and the world around us. So I encourage each of you to reflect on your own journeys. Embrace the trials you face as opportunities for transformation. Allow your suffering to guide you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and your purpose. In doing so, you will not only unlock your potential but also contribute to a more compassionate and resilient world. Together, let us celebrate the strength that comes from adversity and the profound growth that arises when we embrace the challenges life presents. Thank you. Your faith is your fortune. Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of truth and bearers of untapped potential, imagine a world shaped by your every thought, molded by your every feeling, where the very fabric of reality is woven by the unseen force of your belief. That world is not some far-off, mythical place. It is here, within each and every one of you. In this moment, I invite you to set aside every limiting belief, every doubt that clouds the horizon of your mind, and listen deeply. For today, we are about to unlock a profound truth: your faith is your fortune. Faith is not just a word whispered in the darkness, nor is it a mere wish for something better. Faith is a force, a creative energy that calls forth from the invisible realm the shape of your desires. Whatever it is you seek, love, health, success, peace, these are not things you chase, they are things you create. And the creation happens in the quiet chambers of your inner self, where faith resides. Once you understand this, you will see that you are, in fact, the master sculptor of your own destiny. And that destiny is in your hands right here and now. Stay with me, for the journey we're about to take is one that will awaken the extraordinary within you. If you hold fast to what I am about to share, if you allow these words to settle within you and grow, they will awaken a force that transforms every area of your life. By the end, you will understand why your faith is not just important, but essential. You will discover that faith, far from being a mere comfort, holds the key to all that you seek. Let us now explore 10 pillars of understanding that illuminate the power of faith to shape our world, manifest our desires, and unlock the true treasure within. Faith is a profound energy, more than the simple wish or hope we often associate with belief. It is a substance, an unseen, immaterial force that holds the potential to bring things into being. To grasp this fully is to understand that true faith doesn't merely reside in the mind, but exists as a tangible power in the realm of spirit. Faith isn't something passive, it is an active force, alive with the ability to bring form to the formless. In the invisible world that surrounds us, faith is the element that shapes, directs, and gives reality to what has not yet come to pass. When we speak of faith as the substance of things unseen, we acknowledge its role as a foundational material, the very stuff of creation itself. Just as every visible structure begins with a framework, faith serves as the blueprint of our future. It doesn't wait for evidence or seek proof, it holds unwaveringly to a vision, no matter how intangible it may appear. Faith sustains itself on an inner knowing, an assurance that what it believes in is as real as any physical object, even if it's not yet perceptible by the senses. In this way, faith begins to mold the unseen into form, aligning itself with the creative forces of the universe. This concept challenges our conventional understanding of reality, which relies so heavily on what we can see and touch. Yet the most extraordinary creations, from towering structures to groundbreaking inventions, first existed in an invisible realm. They began as ideas, sparked by the inner vision and nurtured by a faith that saw potential before anyone else could. This unseen origin, fed by faith, was the force that drew these creations from the realm of possibility into the realm of reality. Faith, then, is not confined to the present moment, but stretches beyond time, creating pathways for our deepest desires to take root and grow. We'll consider, too, how faith works in partnership with the imagination, another unseen but potent power. Imagination provides the vision, the initial outline or dream of what could be, while faith gives it substance, providing the energy and conviction that solidify it. Faith takes the image provided by imagination and breathes life into it, giving it weight and depth, forming it as surely as a potter molds clay. This interplay reveals that the invisible realms are rich and active, alive with potential, just waiting for us to apply our faith. True faith does not waver, even in the face of delay or adversity. It is as steady as a mountain, a force that holds firm against the winds of doubt and the currents of fear. Faith trusts in its power to create, to call forth what it knows is true, even when circumstances seem to say otherwise. This type of faith is not a passing feeling or a fragile hope, it is a deep, grounded conviction that sustains itself through all conditions. In this way, faith acts as a magnetic force, drawing in resources, opportunities, and experiences that align with the vision it holds. Our lives, when viewed through the lens of faith, become a canvas upon which unseen realities take shape. The world we live in, the circumstances we find ourselves in, are ultimately reflections of our faith. Every belief we hold, every conviction we carry, impresses itself upon this invisible canvas and shapes the lives we lead. Thus, cultivating faith is akin to becoming an artist of life, creating deliberately and with purpose. Faith empowers us to engage with life as creators, not just observers, knowing that what we hold in our hearts will inevitably find its way into our experience. Faith is more than mere belief, it is the very substance of reality, the force that molds the unseen into the seen. When we understand and embrace this truth, we realize that we hold within us the power to shape our world, to bring forth beauty, abundance, and love through the transformative essence of faith. Every reality begins with faith, for faith is the invisible sculptor's hand, forever shaping and molding, bringing forth creation from the hidden realms of the unseen. Faith is a powerful alignment tool, one that brings us into harmony with the realities we wish to experience. When faith is directed toward a specific outcome, it acts as a finely tuned instrument, adjusting our thoughts, emotions, and energy to resonate with that desired reality. Just as a radio receiver must be tuned to the correct frequency to receive a signal, our faith tunes us to the frequency of our dreams. It creates a bridge between where we are and where we want to be, linking us to the path that will guide us there. This alignment does not happen by chance, it's a conscious choice to trust deeply in a particular vision or goal, allowing it to become part of who we are. Faith, in its aligning power, becomes a magnet for circumstances and experiences that match our chosen reality. When we hold unwavering faith in a specific outcome, we subtly influence the world around us, attracting opportunities that move us toward that outcome. This magnetic quality of faith operates beneath the surface, shifting events and encounters in ways that may seem coincidental but are in fact part of the alignment process. Faith's magnetic pull not only attracts opportunities but also the right people, individuals who support, guide, or inspire us along our path. Each interaction, each step, brings us closer to manifesting what we have internally committed to. With faith aligning us to our desires, our perception of the world changes as well. We begin to notice pathways and opportunities we may have overlooked before. This heightened awareness isn't coincidental, it's the result of our alignment, as faith clears our vision and refines our focus. When we are in tune with what we desire, we naturally become more attentive to the subtle signs and cues that can guide us toward it. Faith essentially primes our mind to recognize the steps we need to take, often showing us a way forward where we once saw none. In this way, faith aligns us not just with our desired outcome, but with the journey itself, creating clarity and insight. Faith also fosters an inner resilience that keeps us steady even when challenges arise. Because we are aligned with our desired outcome, obstacles are no longer roadblocks but part of the unfolding process. Faith helps us see setbacks as temporary, knowing that they cannot derail us from our path unless we allow them to. This deep sense of alignment creates a steady confidence within, a conviction that what we seek is already ours in essence. With faith, we can move forward with patience, trusting that each step, even the difficult ones, is leading us closer to what we envision. Faith has the power to dissolve the gap between who we are and who we need to become to reach our desired outcome. When we believe deeply in what we want to achieve, we begin embodying the qualities that align with that reality. Our thoughts, emotions, and actions start to reflect the characteristics of someone who has already attained what they desire. This shift is subtle but profound, as faith aligns us internally with our goal, transforming us in ways that prepare us to receive it fully. In this sense, faith is not only a force of attraction, but also a force of transformation, guiding us to evolve into the person capable of living the life we envision. Faith's alignment also brings a sense of peace as it quiets the inner turmoil that arises from doubt or fear. When we are fully aligned with our desired outcome, faith becomes a shield against the uncertainty that can arise along the way. There is a calm assurance in knowing that, while we may not see every step ahead, we are in harmony with the outcome we desire. This peace is not passive, it's a dynamic, living energy that flows through us, providing strength and clarity. Faith grounds us, allowing us to navigate challenges with a steady, unshakable sense of purpose. Faith operates as a powerful, silent force, guiding us along paths that align with our deepest intentions. It harmonizes our inner world with our outer experience, creating a resonance that is undeniable. Through faith, we become active participants in shaping our reality, aligning our hearts and minds with the outcomes we seek. This alignment is not a mere wish, but a living, breathing connection to the life we are destined to create. Desire is a powerful spark, but without the sustaining energy of faith, it remains only a fleeting hope. Desire alone can ignite a vision, but it is faith that carries it forward, transforming a mere wish into a tangible reality. Faith, when paired with desire, becomes the driving force that breathes life into an idea, turning an intangible longing into a possibility that begins to take shape. It's the energy that turns a flicker of hope into a blazing flame, an unwavering commitment that empowers desire to grow beyond the confines of imagination. When desire meets faith, it is akin to planting a seed in fertile ground. Faith acts as the soil, the nourishment, and the essential support that allows desire to take root. Without faith, a desire is like a seed cast upon barren earth. It may briefly come to mind, but lacks the sustenance needed to grow and bear fruit. But with faith, desire becomes deeply rooted, held steady by conviction. Faith surrounds it, giving it the support and conditions it needs to transform over time from potential into a living, breathing reality. Faith nurtures desire with patience and resilience, qualities essential for growth. Just as a plant requires time and care to blossom, a desire cultivated with faith unfolds gradually, often unseen at first, yet always progressing. This nurturing aspect of faith keeps desire alive even during moments of doubt or delay, ensuring that it does not wither away under the pressures of time or circumstance. Through faith, desire is sustained and protected, allowing it to develop at its own pace, each day drawing closer to manifestation. In this process, faith acts as the gardener, tending to the seed of desire with constant attention and belief. The presence of faith in our desire also refines and strengthens it. Just as soil provides nutrients that strengthen a growing plant, faith feeds desire with a steady supply of trust and conviction. This unwavering belief fortifies our intentions, deepening our commitment and resolve. Faith helps us to clarify our desires, making them more vivid and real in our minds. Until they become more than a hope, they become a vision we hold with certainty. This clarity attracts the right resources, people, and opportunities, each contributing to the growth and maturation of our desire into its final form. Faith has the remarkable ability to transform our perspective, so that our desired outcome feels not just possible but inevitable. When we have faith in our desire, we begin to act and feel as if it is already ours, experiencing the joy and satisfaction of its fulfillment even before it arrives. This shift in perception is key. By embodying the feelings associated with achieving our desire, we create a resonance that attracts our desired reality to us. This resonance is like a signal sent out into the universe, drawing to us the circumstances and conditions necessary to make our desire a reality. Faith in our desire teaches us the power of perseverance. Just as a tree does not grow to full height overnight, so too do our desires need time and persistence to reach fruition. Faith empowers us to stay committed through challenges, treating each obstacle as a stepping stone rather than a setback. Through faith, we learn the art of holding steady, of continuing to nurture our vision, even when results are not yet visible. This patience, born of faith, allows our desire to blossom fully, rewarding our trust with the sweet fruits of achievement and fulfillment. For faith transforms desire by giving it substance, strength, and direction. It takes the raw energy of want and molds it into a purposeful intention that draws upon unseen resources. Faith acts as the vital force that propels our desires from mere thoughts into living experiences. Through faith, desire is no longer a distant dream but a reality in the making, a creation that is constantly evolving, becoming, and finally manifesting in our lives as something real and tangible. Faith possesses a transformative power that goes beyond mere belief. It has the ability to reshape the very story of our lives. When we hold deep, unwavering faith, we free ourselves from the limitations of the past, recognizing that we are no longer confined by previous circumstances, failures, or other people's opinions. Faith reveals that our story is a living, dynamic creation, open to change, growth, and renewal. With faith as our guiding force, we realize that we are the authors of our lives, and each day presents a new page waiting to be written with purpose and conviction. The influence of faith extends to our sense of identity, enabling us to redefine who we are beyond any labels or restrictions we may have once accepted. Faith acts as a tool of self-liberation, freeing us from identities rooted in past experiences, inherited beliefs, or societal expectations. When we choose faith, we release ourselves from self-imposed limitations and begin to see ourselves in a new light as capable, resilient, and worthy individuals. Faith allows us to rewrite the narrative of who we are, not based on past patterns, but on the vision we hold for our future. As we embrace this inner transformation, faith invites us to imagine a new storyline, one not dictated by past hardships or perceived limitations. Faith shifts our focus from what has been to what can be, sparking a process of envisioning possibilities we may have once thought unattainable. It opens our minds to the idea that our potential is limitless and that we can aspire to more than we previously believed possible. With faith as our foundation, we craft a narrative that is forward-focused, driven by our desires and aspirations, unbounded by any previous setbacks or disappointments. Faith also strengthens our inner resilience, encouraging us to persist even when external conditions seem unchangeable. It instills a belief that no matter how fixed our current situation may appear, we possess the inner power to create shifts that lead us toward the life we desire. Faith supports us in facing challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than barriers to success. This resilience rooted in faith becomes a guiding light, showing us that our script is always evolving and that every chapter, no matter how difficult, adds to the richness of our unfolding story. Beyond altering our view of ourselves and our potential, faith also changes how we interact with the world. When we believe in the story we are creating, we begin to act, speak, and make choices that reflect this belief. Our external world begins to mirror the internal shift, as we align with opportunities and relationships that support the new vision we hold. Faith encourages us to seek and seize moments of change, to welcome the unknown with trust, and to embrace the adventure of shaping our destiny with intention. This shift in perception ultimately reorients our entire reality, attracting new experiences that align with the story we now choose to live. The empowering effect of faith is also deeply personal, as it grants us the courage to claim our story in a way that is uniquely ours. No longer do we seek validation or approval from others. Instead, we find inner certainty in our ability to create a fulfilling life. Faith fosters a quiet confidence that allows us to walk our path without seeking permission, forging ahead with clarity and self-assurance. This personal empowerment through faith becomes an anchor, grounding us in the belief that our story is valid, valuable, and worth telling, regardless of others' opinions or judgments. In this way, faith rewrites the script of our lives, giving us the authority to break free from past limitations, redefine our identity, and pursue our true destiny. Each moment becomes an opportunity to choose a new direction, a new chapter, and a new vision for who we are becoming. The act of rewriting our story through faith is a declaration that we are not prisoners of our past, but creators of our future. With faith, we hold the pen of destiny, and each step forward brings us closer to the life that aligns with our deepest beliefs and highest aspirations. Faith has a remarkable way of fortifying our inner world, creating a strength that stands independently of outside approval or validation. When we cultivate true faith, it roots deeply within us, forming a core of resilience that is not swayed by the opinions or judgments of others. In this strength, we find a profound sense of self-worth, one that does not need to be affirmed by external voices. Faith assures us that our journey, purpose, and path are valid, regardless of who may or may not understand or support it. This internal fortitude allows us to stand tall, even when we stand alone. Faith also grants us the clarity to move forward with conviction, unaffected by the crowd's pull or the need to conform. In the presence of true faith, we no longer look outside ourselves for guidance, approval, or direction. Instead, we are guided by an inner knowing that becomes our compass, a quiet, steady voice that directs us toward our purpose. This clarity transforms doubt into certainty and allows us to step forward without hesitation, even if others cannot see the vision we hold or the dreams we pursue. With faith, our path may be solitary, but it is illuminated by the light of our own conviction. There is a unique empowerment that comes from walking a path without the need for others' validation. Faith becomes a shield, protecting us from the distractions of criticism or misunderstanding, allowing us to focus on what truly matters. We become less susceptible to the influence of others' opinions and more attuned to our own truth. This independence, born of faith, is not rooted in defiance but in a quiet, self-assured trust in our inner calling. When faith steadies our steps, we walk with a quiet confidence that does not waver regardless of external circumstances. In moments of solitude, faith becomes a steadfast companion, providing comfort and strength. While the path may at times feel lonely, faith fills the void with purpose and connection to something greater than ourselves. It reminds us that we are never truly alone, for faith connects us to a source of strength beyond what we can see. This unseen presence fortifies us, allowing us to continue on our journey with courage and determination, knowing that we are supported by an invisible yet undeniable power. In this way, faith transforms solitude into a sanctuary, a place where we find strength and renewal. Faith also teaches us the value of authenticity, guiding us to honor our truth over the expectations of others. When we walk in faith, we become less concerned with fitting into predefined molds and more focused on expressing who we truly are. This authenticity grants us a freedom that cannot be achieved through seeking external approval. Faith allows us to embrace our unique path, trusting that it is valid and meaningful, even if it diverges from the norms or expectations set by society. This trust in our authenticity is both liberating and empowering, allowing us to live fully and unapologetically. The strength that faith provides is not a loud or aggressive force, rather. It is a calm, steady presence that endures through both challenge and ease. This quiet strength gives us the courage to face life's obstacles without relying on others for support. In this inner steadiness, we discover resilience that does not falter, even when the journey becomes difficult. Faith acts as an anchor, grounding us firmly in our purpose and giving us the strength to weather any storm. We no longer fear the journey ahead, for we know that faith will carry us through. Faith bestows upon us the power to walk our path with dignity and resolve, irrespective of the company we keep or lack thereof. This strength allows us to embrace the fullness of our journey, honoring both the solitude and the connection it brings. With faith, we learn to stand alone, not as a sign of isolation, but as a testament to the power of inner conviction. And though the path may be solitary, it is filled with the quiet assurance that comes from knowing we are walking in harmony with our highest purpose. Faith is our silent companion, a source of strength that sustains us as we move forward with courage and confidence, even when the world around us cannot see the vision we hold within. Faith serves as the bridge between our everyday awareness and a vast higher intelligence that resides within each of us. This intelligence is not bound by logic, reasoning, or the limitations of the conscious mind. It is an innate knowing, a source of wisdom that perceives possibilities beyond what we can see. When we embrace faith, we open ourselves to this deeper intelligence, allowing it to guide us through life's complexities. Faith quiets the noise of doubt and hesitation, creating a clear channel through which this higher guidance can reach us. In this way, faith becomes a pathway to divine insight, revealing answers we could not arrive at through reasoning alone. Faith allows us to trust in this guiding presence, even when we don't fully understand where it is leading us. Instead of relying solely on what we know or can predict, faith invites us to surrender to a wisdom that transcends our understanding. This surrender is not an act of giving up, it is an intentional choice to trust that we are being led by a force that knows our highest good. Faith gives us the courage to move forward, even when the steps are unclear, because it assures us that we are not walking alone. By trusting in this inner guidance, we align ourselves with a flow of inspired action, one that leads us with precision and purpose. When we operate from this faith, we experience clarity that feels almost otherworldly. The decisions we make are no longer solely based on logic or fear, but are rooted in a deeper knowing, a quiet certainty that tells us this is the way. Through faith, we begin to recognize that divine intelligence is always available, ready to provide direction if we are open to receiving it. This clarity allows us to make choices that resonate with our true purpose, choices that align us with the life we are meant to lead. Faith illuminates the path forward, not through analysis or planning, but through a profound trust in the unseen. Faith also cultivates a sense of peace, as we realize that we don't have to carry the burden of knowing every answer or controlling every outcome. When we lean into faith, we release the need to micromanage our lives, allowing divine intelligence to take the lead. This surrender brings a calmness that frees us from the pressure of needing to have everything figured out. In this space of trust, we find that solutions often arise naturally, without forcing or struggling. Faith teaches us that we are supported by a wisdom that is always working behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways we may not immediately understand. Faith aligns us with inspired action, those moments when we feel a sudden pull or spark, guiding us to take a step forward. These inspirations are not random, they are signals from the higher intelligence within, nudging us toward the next step on our path. Through faith, we become receptive to these moments of inspiration, recognizing them as divine guidance rather than mere impulses. Acting on these inspirations becomes second nature, as faith reassures us that we are being led by something greater than ourselves. With faith as our guide, our actions flow naturally, each step infused with purpose and precision. Faith opens us to intuitive insights that reveal solutions and perspectives that would otherwise remain hidden. This intuitive guidance often bypasses the linear mind, arriving as flashes of insight, hunches or subtle feelings that lead us toward the right choices. Faith sharpens our sensitivity to these insights, making us more aware of the subtle signs and cues that divine intelligence uses to communicate with us. As we follow these inner nudges, we find ourselves on paths that bring growth, fulfillment, and joy, paths we may have never considered through logic alone. In this way, faith becomes not only a path, but a partnership with the divine intelligence within. It connects us to a source of wisdom that knows our potential, our purpose, and our deepest desires, guiding us with an unseen hand. Each time we act in faith, we strengthen this connection, deepening our relationship with this guiding force. Through faith, we tap into a limitless intelligence that knows the way, transforming our lives into a journey of trust, inspired action, and alignment with our highest good. Faith is our access point to this divine wisdom, reminding us that, though we walk our own unique paths, we are always supported by an infinite intelligence guiding us every step of the way. Faith is a transformative force that dissolves the space between longing and fulfillment, bringing what we desire into our lived experience. When faith is present, the yearning we feel for something beyond us shifts into a quiet assurance that what we seek is already on its way. Faith removes the need for doubt or questioning, replacing it with a deep trust that we are in alignment with our heart's true desires. In this way, faith becomes a bridge, filling the gap between our dreams and our reality, making the unseen visible and the intangible tangible. In the presence of faith, the waiting time between desire and manifestation shortens, not always because of a change in external circumstances, but because of a shift within ourselves. Faith allows us to inhabit the feeling of already having what we want, which changes our experience in the present moment. This inner sense of fulfillment, born of faith, alters our perception of time and brings a sense of immediacy to our desires. Through faith, we no longer feel separate from what we seek, as the energy of fulfillment begins to radiate from within, aligning our emotions, thoughts, and actions with our goals. Faith does more than inspire belief, it immerses us in a state of wholeness and completeness that draws fulfillment to us naturally. When we operate from a place of faith, we move beyond the limitations of lack or longing, stepping into the energy of abundance. This shift in energy is subtle yet powerful, as faith aligns us with the frequency of what we desire. Instead of chasing our dreams, we become a magnet for them, attracting circumstances and opportunities that align with our vision. Faith, in essence, places us in a state of receptivity, where fulfillment is not something to attain, but something we draw into our lives effortlessly. Through faith, our focus moves from questioning if something will happen to embracing the belief that it already exists. This shift in focus transforms our actions as we start to live in a way that reflects the certainty of fulfillment. Faith encourages us to take steps not from a place of lack but from a place of confidence, knowing that each action we take is leading us closer to our desired outcome. In this state, our daily efforts feel purposeful and inspired, as faith brings a sense of direction that makes the journey itself rewarding. Each moment becomes infused with the joy of anticipation, knowing that we are on a path of realization. Faith also transforms the way we experience challenges, viewing them not as obstacles to our desires, but as essential steps toward fulfillment. When we have faith, we understand that every experience, even those that seem like detours, is part of the process of bringing our dreams to life. Faith gives us the patience to trust the timing of our journey, knowing that every moment is contributing to the ultimate realization of our goals. This trust allows us to find peace amid uncertainty, as we are confident that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, each step bringing us closer to the life we envision. The energy of faith also fills us with gratitude in the present, recognizing that fulfillment is already present in small, meaningful ways. Instead of seeing what we lack, faith opens our eyes to what we already have, creating a foundation of thankfulness that enhances our experience of life. This gratitude is magnetic, drawing even more of what we desire into our lives as we celebrate each moment along the way. Faith, therefore, is both the beginning and the continuation of fulfillment, allowing us to find joy in the journey itself, knowing that every step is part of the unfolding of our dreams. In essence, faith allows us to live in a state of fulfillment long before our desires are fully realized. It brings us into harmony with what we seek, bridging the gap between the imagined and the real, making the journey as fulfilling as the destination. This inner assurance, born of faith, is a quiet, powerful force that transforms longing into living reality, making each moment a step into the life we have envisioned. Faith fills the space between desire and fulfillment, creating a seamless connection that turns dreams into experiences and aspirations into accomplishments, all with a sense of ease and grace. Faith is a powerful antidote to fear, acting as a shield that protects us from the debilitating effects of doubt and anxiety. When we cultivate a deep, abiding faith, we create a mental and emotional environment where fear cannot thrive. This transformative process begins by shifting our focus from what we fear to what we believe in. As we strengthen our faith, it replaces the narratives of insecurity and uncertainty with a steadfast belief in our own capabilities and the goodness of life. This shift empowers us to confront challenges with courage, reminding us that fear has no hold over those who trust in their inner strength and the greater plan at play. In the presence of true faith, we find a profound sense of calm and reassurance that transcends external circumstances. Faith teaches us that regardless of the storms we face, there is a deeper wisdom guiding us through, lighting us through life's uncertainties. This understanding fosters resilience, enabling us to navigate difficulties with grace and composure. Instead of succumbing to panic or despair, faith anchors us in a sense of safety, allowing us to weather any tempest that may arise. With this unwavering belief, we cultivate a peace that defies the chaos around us, affirming that we are supported and capable of overcoming whatever challenges lie ahead. As we deepen our faith, we begin to recognize that fear is often rooted in the unknown, the fear of what might happen or what could go wrong. Faith, on the other hand, invites us to embrace the mystery of life with trust and confidence. It encourages us to release our need for certainty and control, replacing it with a profound sense of surrender. When we embrace the unknown through the lens of faith, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and opportunities that we might have previously overlooked. This perspective shift transforms fear into curiosity, allowing us to approach life's uncertainties with an open heart and a willing spirit. The relationship between faith and fear is also deeply intertwined with our beliefs about ourselves and our capabilities. When we hold a strong belief in our potential and purpose, fear diminishes. Faith empowers us to step beyond our comfort zones, embracing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to our safety. This empowerment becomes a catalyst for action, enabling us to pursue our passions, dreams, and aspirations without being held back by fear. With faith as our foundation, we begin to see ourselves not as victims of circumstance, but as active participants in our own lives, capable of shaping our destinies. Faith instills in us a sense of community and connection, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles. When we recognize that others have walked similar paths and have emerged stronger, we draw inspiration from their journeys. This collective support strengthens our faith, allowing us to confront fear with the knowledge that we are part of a greater whole. In this shared experience, we discover that fear can diminish in the face of solidarity and understanding. As we connect with others through faith, we cultivate a sense of belonging that counters isolation and nurtures courage. Faith also encourages us to focus on the present moment, where fear often loses its grip. When we are fully immersed in the here and now, we find that much of what we fear is rooted in projections about the future or reflections on the past. By practicing mindfulness and grounding ourselves in the present, we diminish the power of fear and create space for faith to flourish. This practice allows us to appreciate the beauty and richness of life as it unfolds, reminding us that we have the tools to face whatever arises in this moment. Faith, in this sense, becomes a living force, guiding us to act with purpose and intention without being paralyzed by fear. Faith empowers us to confront fear with courage and clarity. It equips us with a sense of purpose and direction, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with confidence. As we cultivate this faith, we learn to see fear not as an insurmountable barrier, but as a natural part of the human experience. With faith as our guide, we transform fear into a catalyst for growth, embracing each moment as an opportunity to deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Through this journey, we come to understand that true security lies not in the absence of fear, but in the unwavering strength of our faith, which enables us to face life's uncertainties with grace and resilience. Faith is a powerful catalyst that expands our perception of what is achievable. When we nurture faith within ourselves, it shifts our mindset, encouraging us to envision a reality where the impossible becomes possible. This transformation often begins with a single belief, a spark that ignites our imagination and inspires us to dream beyond the confines of our current circumstances. Faith whispers to us, urging us to look past the barriers that may have previously seemed insurmountable, inviting us to reimagine our potential. With each affirmation of belief, we dismantle the walls of limitation, opening ourselves to a world of infinite possibilities. As we cultivate faith, we begin to see challenges not as threats but as opportunities for growth and transformation. Faith instills a sense of confidence that empowers us to tackle obstacles head-on, fueling our determination to push through adversity. This inner conviction reassures us that every setback is merely a stepping stone toward achieving our goals. When we believe in our ability to overcome difficulties, we unlock the door to innovation and creativity, allowing us to find unique solutions to problems that once felt daunting. Faith inspires us to rise above our fears, empowering us to take bold steps toward the dreams we hold dear. Moreover, faith fosters resilience, encouraging us to persist even when faced with setbacks. When we believe in the possibility of our dreams, we are less likely to be deterred by temporary failures. Instead, we embrace these moments as integral parts of our journey, recognizing that they serve to strengthen our resolve. Faith acts as a guiding light, illuminating the path forward and reminding us that each challenge carries with it the seeds of opportunity. This resilience nurtured by faith enables us to bounce back stronger, fueled by the knowledge that every attempt brings us closer to our aspirations. In this context, faith becomes a source of motivation, propelling us to take action in alignment with our dreams. It instills a sense of urgency and purpose, driving us to pursue our goals with passion and commitment. When we truly believe in the possibility of our dreams, we are compelled to act, to take the necessary steps toward their realization. Faith transforms passive wishing into active pursuit, encouraging us to invest our energy into bringing our visions to life. With faith as our motivator, we are willing to embrace the hard work and dedication required to turn the impossible into the possible. Faith also enables us to visualize our aspirations in vivid detail, enhancing our ability to manifest them. When we believe in the potential of our dreams, we create mental images of what our desired reality looks like. This visualization process strengthens our conviction, making our goals feel tangible and attainable. As we consistently focus on these images, we begin to attract the circumstances, people, and resources needed to make them a reality. Faith, in this sense, acts as a magnet, drawing us closer to our dreams by aligning our thoughts and actions with the energy of possibility. Faith cultivates a sense of hope and optimism, which are essential ingredients for making the impossible possible. When we maintain faith in our abilities and the potential of our dreams, we approach life with a positive outlook. This optimism fuels our perseverance, enabling us to navigate the ups and downs of the journey with grace. As we embrace this hopeful mindset, we find that the universe responds in kind, presenting us with opportunities that align with our beliefs. Faith transforms our perception, allowing us to see the silver linings in every situation and inspiring us to continue moving forward. Faith encourages us to redefine our understanding of limitations. When we embrace faith, we challenge the narratives that tell us what is feasible or realistic. Instead of succumbing to societal norms or self-imposed boundaries, we begin to recognize that our potential is boundless. Faith empowers us to dream without restraint, to envision lives filled with possibilities that once seemed out of reach. This expansive mindset not only propels us toward our individual aspirations, but also inspires those around us to break free from their limitations, creating a ripple effect of belief and possibility. With faith as our guide, we learn that the impossible is merely a stepping stone on the path to our greatest achievements, waiting to be transformed by our unwavering belief. Faith is a powerful force that extends beyond the individual, shaping not only our lives but also the lives of those around us. When we choose to live by faith, we create a legacy rooted in inspiration and hope. This legacy is not confined to our immediate surroundings, it radiates outward, influencing friends, family, and even strangers who may never know us personally. Each act of faith, each moment of unwavering belief, contributes to a larger tapestry of transformation that continues to unfold long after we are gone. In this way, our faith becomes a beacon of light, guiding others through their own journeys and encouraging them to embrace their potential. When we embody faith, we demonstrate the power of belief in action. Our choices and actions reflect a deep trust in ourselves and the universe, inspiring others to explore their own faith. This ripple effect can create profound change, as those who witness our journeys begin to see what is possible in their lives. By sharing our stories of triumph, resilience, and transformation, We encourage others to step into their own power, fostering a culture of belief and possibility. Each person we inspire carries forward this legacy, creating a chain reaction that can touch countless lives. Furthermore, living by faith encourages us to pursue our passions and dreams wholeheartedly, regardless of the obstacles we face. This commitment to our purpose is infectious. When others see us pursuing our goals with courage and determination, they are motivated to do the same. Faith inspires us to take risks, to venture into the unknown, and to strive for greatness. As we push beyond our comfort zones, we encourage those around us to break free from their own limitations. Our legacy of faith becomes a powerful reminder that transformation is possible, encouraging others to step into their true selves and pursue their dreams. The legacy of faith also nurtures a sense of community and connection. When we come together with shared beliefs, we create a supportive environment that fosters growth and transformation. This sense of belonging amplifies the impact of our faith, as individuals inspire one another to rise to new heights. Through collective faith, we build a community that uplifts and empowers, fostering an atmosphere where everyone can thrive. This legacy of connection strengthens our bonds and creates a lasting impact on future generations, as the values of faith, support, and encouragement are passed down through the ages. Faith invites us to confront and transcend adversity, offering a powerful example of resilience to those who witness our journeys. Each challenge we overcome serves as a testament to the transformative power of belief. As we navigate life's trials with grace and strength, we become living examples of what is possible when one remains anchored in faith. This resilience not only inspires others to confront their own difficulties, but also reinforces the idea that setbacks can be stepping stones to growth. Our legacy of overcoming adversity through faith becomes a powerful narrative that empowers others to face their challenges with courage and determination. The legacy of faith encourages a mindset of abundance and gratitude. When we live by faith, we become more attuned to the blessings and opportunities that surround us. This perspective shift inspires those around us to adopt a similar outlook, fostering a culture of appreciation and positivity. By modeling gratitude and abundance, we teach others the importance of recognizing the gifts in their lives, even amid challenges. This legacy of gratitude has a profound impact, as it cultivates a collective consciousness that focuses on possibility rather than limitation, allowing transformation to flourish. Faith creates a lasting impact on future generations, shaping the beliefs and values of those who come after us. When we live authentically and boldly by our faith, we provide a template for others to follow. Our children, friends, and communities absorb the lessons we embody, carrying them into their own lives and sharing them with others. This intergenerational transmission of faith creates a powerful legacy that endures, as the seeds we plant today grow into a flourishing garden of transformation for those who follow. Our commitment to faith not only enriches our own lives, but also lays the foundation for a future where belief in the extraordinary is the norm, ensuring that our legacy of transformation continues to inspire for years to come. In conclusion, the journey of faith is a powerful testament to the incredible potential that lies within each of us. As we have explored, faith is not merely a fleeting feeling, it is the substance of our reality, a force that transforms our desires into tangible outcomes, rewrites the narratives of our lives, and allows us to stand strong in our convictions. Through faith, we dissolve fear, making way for possibilities that were once thought impossible. We create a legacy of transformation that inspires not only ourselves but also generations to come, igniting a ripple effect that encourages others to embrace their own inner power. Let us remember that our faith is a living force, capable of transcending the limits of our circumstances and expanding our vision of what is achievable. It empowers us to face challenges with resilience, fuels our passions, and cultivates a community of support and encouragement. By embodying faith in our daily lives, we become beacons of hope, illuminating the path for those around us and inviting them to join us on this extraordinary journey. As we move forward, may we carry the message of faith in our hearts, embracing its transformative power and sharing it generously with the world. Let us commit to nurturing our faith, trusting in our potential, and stepping boldly into our dreams. Together we can create a world where the impossible becomes possible, where fear is replaced by courage, and where the legacy of transformation continues to inspire and uplift. Remember, your faith is not just for today, it is the legacy you leave behind. Let it be a legacy that resonates through time, empowering others to believe, to dream, and to transform their lives in ways they never thought possible.